Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another Scratch tutorial, that is. Today I will be showing you how to make an SCP-173 game. SCP-173 is a concrete statue, and if you don't look at it, it will come towards you, and it will snap your neck. So I'm going to be creating a simulator of that. And just before we start, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. And also ding that bell so you don't miss out on any more epic tutorials. So let's get right into this. So first, we're going to create the D class. Those are usually like the victims, So let's do that. So we need to paint a sprite. I'm just going to name this player. And I will not be posting this game because just yesterday I posted one. So the one just like this. And here's a funny story. Yesterday I tried recording it, and then the voice got all choppy because I'm using like QuickTime Player, as you can see. So yeah. And then I got really mad, and then I decided to make it today, so yay. Alright, so now we're just gonna make an oval. Actually, we're not gonna make an oval. And every edit I make from this, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna put it also in the new game, so I'm probably just gonna copy costumes and paste them and all that. So I'm going to make a body like this, and then I'm going to make the outline like really thick, and then there's so much lag, and then I'm gonna make the outline darker. And then I'm going to stretch it out a tiny bit, like this, so that there's space for the head. And then I'm going to make the head like a normal head. Okay. Alright. So then I'm just going to make the outline plain black, because why not? Alright. And I actually might just squeeze the body a little bit so that it doesn't look like this guy has exercise problems. So, okay, thinner. Okay, I think it's just the outline problem, so I'm just gonna reduce it. Okay, that looks decent for a class D. So let's center it in the head. And then we're going to create the player script. So we're going to start off with a when flag clicked, a go to x0, y0, x0, y0. Then we're going to point into, so the SCP is going to go right here. So, I guess direction 45 would work, or 60, who knows, let's see. And then x0, y0, yeah, that'll work. And then we're just gonna make the movement. So let's go get a forever loop, and if then. And then I'm gonna make this the WASD keys because we're gonna be using the mouse to look around. So we're gonna make this W. Then we're going to copy this, and then we're going to copy this again, and then we're going to make this one S, and make the left one A, and make this one D. And we're also going to go to the motion and put the point towards mouse pointer. So yeah, it points toward the mouse pointer. And then for the key W pressed, we're going to change Y by 3, and then for the S, we're going to change Y by -3. For the left arrow, we're going to make it change X by -3. And for the D key, we're going to make it change X by 3. These are also that they're all even when you move. So if you move left, you don't want to be supersonic. So they're all even. And I actually might change this player size a little bit down, so maybe 80%. Okay, that works. So let's see. I can point around with the mouse pointer, and then I can move around with the WASD keys. All right, nice. And I'm going to make a backdrop real quick. So I'm just going to make it a plain damp, whatever. Just make it a gray room. That's really all. And I might actually change the size to 90. This might be a little too small. Okay, maybe 95. Okay, that's good. 95 is a perfect amount. And just before we can actually code the SCP, we have to paint the view. So this is what the D class is apparently supposed to see. So we're just going to name this view. And then we're going to make a light gray. And we're going to make a rectangle that's around this big. Then, as you can see, we're going to use the reshape tool. And then we're going to drag this corner here and drag this corner here. So there we go. Now I've got the view, and I'm going to make this a little smaller because D classes aren't supposed to see that much. All right, so now we've got to make it so that the center. This is the center of the sprite. So, yeah. So we're going to center it to right here. And then we're going to go to the code, bring a when flag clicked, and then we're going to bring a forever, a motion to the motion area. We're going to make it so that it goes to the player, and we want it to point in the direction of the player. It's like kind of like a copycat in direction. So we're going to get a point in direction, and then we're going to go to sensing, get a backdrop number of stage, and then the drop down for the stage is going to be here, and we're going to change this to player, and this drop down here, we're going to make this direction. As you can see, it will go to the player, and it will point in the direction of the player. And as you can see, it actually works. And we're going to make this so that you can fully see the body, just for theatrics. And then we're going to make this look a little more symmetrical, because it's not. Alright, so let's bring it like this. Alright, like this. So there we go. We've got a... And we're also going to make it look a little transparent, so we're going to go to looks, and we're going to bring in a set color effect, and we're going to change this drop down to ghost and set this effect to 40. And then there we go. We've got it looking like it's ghost. It's actually going to look plain gray, but once it goes over the SCP, it's going to look like it's a view. Alright, now time to create the SCP. So I'm just going to name this SCP. SCP-173, that is. And then we're going to go to circle, and we're going to make this, the SCP, significantly bigger because it's the SCP. So now we're going to make, the color's going to be a little funky. So we're going to bring it to a normal yellow. Around this, color 15 is best. And then we're going to bring the saturation to 50 just to get the perfect SCP-173 color. And then we're going to change the brightness to 90. Then we're going to make a large circle. Hold down the shift key to get a perfect circle, if you were wondering how I was getting such clean circles. And then we're just going to make the outline like really thick. As you can see, there's a scratch glitch, and it looks like it's changing to the view sprite. Yeah, so we can change the outline to a little thinner, and then we're going to make it so that it's a darker version of the center color. And then I'm going to make some arms for him. So I'm going to make like, I guess you could say warped oval, like this. And we're going to send it to the back layer. And then we're going to reshape it so that it's thinner arms, like this. Like this. This looks good. Maybe just change the angle of it a little more. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now we're just going to copy this. Flip it vertical. No, sorry, flip it vertical. Flip it horizontally. Change the direction. And then send it to the back layer. So there we go. We've got our SCP. We just have to make it so that it's pointing in the correct direction. Right there. So it's pointing towards the right, and we're going to center it in the circle part. All right, now I'm going to reshape the arms so that they're a little longer. Like this, and then I can delete this reshape and this reshape, like this. Alright, so then we've got our SCP arms. And this is supposed to look graphic if you wanted to know. And then we're going to just change the direction a little more. Alright, there we go. We've got the SCP. So now we're going to make a script so that it starts in this corner, and if it's not touching the view, then it's going to move. All right, so we're going to get a when flag clicked, and then we're going to make it go to this position. Oh, and by the way, feel free to add more to this, and if you post it, be sure to add the credit. And I will post the game I've already posted in the description below. Alright, so this is a good position. So go to this position, but I might just make it look a little more formal. So X200 and then Y a little higher. Wait, is this a proper Y position? Okay, that was just a glitch. 140. 140. Okay, so 140. So let's see, what does it look like? Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to get a forever loop. And we're going to get an if. And we're going to go to operators and get a not. And then we're going to go to sensing and put a touching view. If it's not touching the view, then it's going to point towards the player, and move 10 steps. It's supposed to move very fast. And then we're just going to quickly go to the player and put in a when flag clicked, forever, and if it touches it, if touching SCP-173, then stop all. And now, this might seem easy because all you have to do is just keep it within your view. Oh yeah, and we might actually have to send this to the front layer. Go to front layer. Go to front layer. There we go. So now the view seems to cover it, and it will absolutely charge towards you. And this might seem easy because all you have to do is legit just stare at it, which is why so if you're touching, we might want to make it so that if it's touching it and if the SCP is touching the view, then it should not be able, because it won't snap its neck because you're looking at it. So we're going to make a variable called I'm just going to make an acronym, view and touching, which is VNT. And we're going to make another one that says forever if touching and if it's touching view and if it's touching the player, sorry. And if it's touching the player, oof. It's touching the player, then it's gonna, oh yeah, and when we need this to make this an if else, I guess. If else, if it's touching view, and then it's gonna set VNT to yes, else set VNT to no. And then we're gonna make it so that if it's touching the player, it's gonna set it to yes, as you can see. And if it's touching the SCP-173, and then we're gonna put another if and then we're gonna get an equals operator and set this to no. And we're gonna put the variables here. If v and t equals no, then it's gonna stop all. Else, otherwise it's not going to stop all. Wait. What if we put an and? And equals no. Let's see. Then it's gonna stop off. Let's see. Okay, it still stops. So if it's touching the view and if it's touching player, set VNT to yes. Wait. Why don't we just set it so that if it's touching the view, then it's going to, I'm just going to rename it touching. Actually, I'm just going to rename the variable as seen. If touching view, then it's going to set seen to yes. And if seen, if it's touching the SCP, yes. Okay, as you can see, if it's not touching, then okay, you know what? Why don't we just scratch all of this? Okay, I think it's just not good. Yeah. So there we go. We got rid of that. And we're going to make some blinking. Yeah, blinks. So that if it blinks, then the view won't be there, and then the SCP can come closer. So I'm just going to make a massive black screen. Like this. And we're just going to set the X to 0 and set the Y to 0. Then we're going to get a when flag clicked. Go to front layer. And then we're going to do a forever. Wait 5 seconds. It'll wait 5 seconds, and then it will, so yeah, it's gonna originally start by hiding, and then wait 5 seconds, show, and then it's gonna broadcast a message called blink. Broadcast a message called blink. Broadcast blink. and then it's gonna wait 0.3 seconds, and then it's going to hide. And then we're gonna go to view, and then to the view sprite, and then we're gonna get to events. When I receive blink, hide, wait, let's see, how long did the blink wait? 0.3 seconds. It's gonna wait 0.3 seconds, 0.3 seconds, and then show. So it's gonna wait 5 seconds, and then the SCP will come closer after the blink. There, and the SCP came really close. Just wait for it. It's gonna come close. There, the SCP comes really close. So, all right. So, and then if it touches, oh yeah, I forgot. I deleted it. A when flag clicked. Forever. If touching SCP, then stop all. So yeah. Yeah, that's it for how to make a game. Oh yeah, and just before we go, I have to make the score counter. Silly me. All right. So we're gonna make a variable called score, and then we're gonna, when the game starts, it's gonna set the score to 0, and it's gonna, after it broadcasts blink, it's gonna change score by 1. So yeah, now we've got a functioning blink thing. So after you blink, as you can see, the score will increase. So yeah, there we go. That's it for this tutorial. I might make how to make an SCP-106 game. I've been really into SCPs these days, so I might make it. Who knows? Just maybe if you smash that like and subscribe button, I might do it. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If you're not, be sure to subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, be sure to like. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to like. Yeah, that's very confusing, but it makes sense to me. All right, well, that's it for today. I'll see you next time with part 3 of the Base Defender game. Yeah, it's been such a long time since then. So I might make it. I might not. Actually, I have to make it. What am I saying? Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. See you next time. Peace out.